Today has been one hectic day, as well as a week actually. Trying to study for a commercial drone license, and for I guess the last week, reading everything I can find on it. There's some free courses. There's a lot of them that people want you to pay, oh, I don't know, $100 or more. So I did some of the free ones, considering that I've got a private pilot's license, so I know the basic stuff in aircraft operation. So I just needed to learn all the regulations for the drone stuff. And I'll tell you, it's if you don't have a background in flying airplanes, it is not an easy chore learning all the regulations and so forth for drones. But I suppose in that case, if you have no experience, you probably will have to end up paying for a course, because it's just way complex. And so not only is it learning this stuff complex, signing into the government websites to sign up to take the test. It's a written test, is also complex. And then after you sign into the government thing, you have to schedule a test to be taken at a testing site, which is usually in an airport at some of the bigger cities. So that was complex as well, because you kind of have to enter all the information you already entered before. You have to enter some extra stuff. You have to have all your dots and everything, with everything to perfection. And then at the end of that signing up to take the test, they actually tell you where the test is, because I had no clue where it was. So it turns out the closest one was about an hour away. And then there was another one a little more than an hour away. And the test is $175 to take the test. So what they have is a government apparently has somebody bid on this contract. So there's a company that apparently got the contract to give all this testing. It's computerized testing, actually. And it's usually located at a flight school at an airport. So anyway, when I did it last night to sign up for a course, I put in the dates, and it showed the next available one. They do it about every day, but the next available one for me was in the one that was a little more than an hour away. So then this morning I went back to the website to see if I could schedule one for sure, because I wasn't really sure. So then I went in there and then found actually the closest one, the hour away one, had an available spot in about 2 hours. So I rushed around and signed up for that. And then so I went over to Fort Myers for an 11:30. They say it takes about 2 hours, so they allot you 2 hours to take the test. So I signed up for the 11:30 spot, and then I went over there, and there's all kinds of fine print you got to read too. Some lawyers had a good payday writing all this stuff. So if you show up late, they can keep your money, and you can't take the test, and you got to reschedule. If you don't bring your ID and the proper whatever they want you to bring, they can keep your money, and you have to reschedule again. And so lots of pitfalls that you could fall into. So I was on the way over there. It was raining because the hurricane just passed by here. Well, not literally by here, but by the west coast of Florida. And so I thought, what would happen if I get caught in the rain and I can't get there on time? I just lost my $175. So anyway, I got there half an hour early, and basically nobody else was there to take a test. They have a little glassed in place with 3 computers, and And I was the only one, so that was good because I didn't have to wait. I just went ahead and took the test, and it was good because there wasn't anybody else there to create distraction. And so sit down at the computer, and right away it's a little confusing. Um, even if you're familiar with computers, you don't quite know the format of the pages you're on and what you're supposed to click next. And they give you a whole bunch of fine print too. You got to click through and read all this stuff. And so the gal that checks you in, she came in and helped me get the thing started. And it seems like there might have been some glitch on the program or something because it wasn't really operating, even with her help, it wasn't operating all that smoothly. So anyway, then I go through all the fine print and get to the test part. There's 60 questions, and they give you 2 hours. And I've been practicing on practice tests, and I could do it easily in an hour or something. But on today, man, I wanted to be very careful because I didn't want to fail it and have to pay another fee to take it again. So I took it real slow, and then when I finished in about maybe an hour and a half. And then I went through and make sure that there's a couple of them I wasn't real sure about. So went back to a couple of them, looked up some stuff, and they give you a little book of the examples. And one of the examples was told about the different kinds of airspace. And that was what was giving me some difficulty on a couple of questions. So I went back there and kind of refresh my memory about the airspace, even though the book is not really to help you. It's just a book with all the pages of examples of maps and stuff. So fortunately, they had that thing in there about the airspace, and that refreshed my memory. So helped me to get the questions answered. Okay, and then I ended it, and it kept saying, "You have not finished." And has you try to start back over again. I thought, this isn't right. So then I had the gal come in, and she couldn't quite figure it out. So she called the boss or something, and then he apparently told her what to do. So after a couple tries, they finally got the thing where it goes to a second part of the thing where it's like a survey. They want to know what your experience was and so forth. Actually, now that I think about it, I forgot to mention it was not an easy experience with all the glitches. I should have added that in there. So anyway, I finally got through that part, and then figured I'm all done, and it's going to tell you the test score. So I'm waiting on the little things go spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. So I figured, well, there's something else wrong. So I go out and have the girl look at it again, and she goes through a couple steps, and apparently everything was okay. And then we go to the desk, and then she prints out the little 2 pages and hands them to me. And I expected she would say, well, you passed or you failed, or she would say something. She didn't say nothing. And so I had to put on my glasses and read the page and saw that I got 97%. So that's way better than I thought I'd get, because you only need 70% to pass. 70% of the 60 questions. So I was surprised she didn't say, congratulations, oh, you passed, or whatever. She didn't say nothing. And then I says, well, anything else I need to do here? And I kind of asked her, well, what's the next step? And she didn't really know, but it kind of explains it on the fine print on these 2 pages that you got to go back to the government site you were on before and re-enter your test number, and then answer a whole bunch of more questions. So I finished that a little while ago, and then that's sent off to the FAA and Homeland Security, because Homeland Security has to verify you're not a bad guy. And then in a week, they say they send you notice of a temporary certificate, and then you can print that out and have legal authority to be using your drone legally under what they call the Part 107, which is basically it's just for commercial use of a drone. So you can charge people for giving them videos and photographs. So shortly, I should, unless Homeland Security has some issue with me, I should be able to get my certificate and be free to charge for photography services with the drone. And that's my story of today. So that was how much I spent, like 6 hours. It's 2 hours of driving, 2 hours for the test taking. And then while I was there, I've spent a couple hours going from Walmart to Walmart and to an Aldi's to try to. I have this app where they give you cash back if you buy certain things. And they have some of them where you can get the full purchase price back. And so my experience with this thing is called Ibotta is you don't always find those free cash back items in stock. So I thought, well, as long as I'm out here, let me go to a couple of Walmarts and see if in fact they actually have those. And, they had maybe one out of two. And it's like a 50% chance they're going to really have that item. So then I went to a second Walmart and I found one more item. And then I went to an Aldi and I found that it was like an energy bar type thing. And it didn't really match the description exactly what it was supposed to be, but they gave me credit anyway. So got several food items basically for free today. I can't remember, maybe $11 worth or something like that. I can't remember. But anyway, so it was a long day, and now I'm back, and it's 5:30 in the afternoon. A little bit tired, but at least I finished that testing, so that made it a lot easier. But if any of you are considering getting a commercial drone license, be prepared to do a lot of studying, unless you've already had some airplane experience, then not quite so much studying. And after you get that first thing out of the way, well, if you're a pilot, by the way, if you're current, you take an online test, which is really easy, but you have to be current. So that means you had to have taken your biannual flight review. So if you're a current pilot, then you got it made because it's pretty simple. I didn't have my current review done, and to do that would be way more than the cost of the exam. So I chose exam. But if you're already a pilot and current, you can take the online test, and it's I can't remember. I think it was 45 questions. And the online one, you take it the first time, and then they tell you which ones you missed, and they're all multiple choice. So you can go back and get the correct answer until you, in fact, you do it till you get the correct answer, because you got to get 100%. So if you're already a pilot, it's no big deal at all to get that commercial drone license. But if you're not a pilot, believe me, it's a big deal. Because I guess, for safety reasons, they want to make sure that you are doing things safely. Because, these are little, the drone I have is like a half a pound, but it can do some serious damage. And if you're flying where you're not supposed to be, and somebody or some object or some airplane hits it, you're in big trouble. So anyway, I guess I want to be very careful to give commercial license, commercial certificate privileges to just the people who know what in the world they're doing flying around. So that's the reasoning for that. Okay, so anyway, that's about it. And I hope I can get more people to chat in here, because Mr. Twitch is wanting to. I have all the requirements to be a. I can't remember what their word is. I can't remember, but anyway, I have all the requirements except for you have to have 3 people chatting regularly or something. I can't remember for how long, but I've got the right number of viewers, or whatever you call it, subscribers or whatever. It's over 800. I've got the right number of hours per day, right number of total hours. There's a whole bunch of other things you got to meet, and I've had those met for a while, but getting the people to chat in here, that's the tough one. So anyway, that is the end of what I have to say. So I will cut this off for today after 15 minutes and come back tomorrow and see what else is new in the drone flying world. And where can you see my drone stuff? Let's see, where can you see it? If you go into my Facebook under my name, or if you go onto YouTube under my name, you can see some of the brief ones I've done with the drone in the last week. Nothing fancy, just trying to learn how to use that particular drone. Okay, so that's it for now, and we will see you tomorrow. Have a good day, morning, and afternoon. Until then, be safe, especially if you're flying a drone.